And we are live at MEN-talRollaDek, and it is a Sunday, and it's 2 o'clock on Pacific time. And wherever you are, you know what time it is. And this Sunday,
It's
we
Sunday.
welcome you. It's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Sunday, and last Sunday we had some other things come up. We missed you guys, and I'm sure you missed us. So we're back with another show. Beyond the surface. And today we're going to go beyond the surface on the topic of incomplete relationships.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm,
I wonder if
mm.
anybody had an incomplete relationship out there. But anyway, Jermaine is with us. You know, his avatar is there. He's always with us in spirit. He's in the background working on the machines and technology and holding it down. We got Sister Shay in the house. We got Shanae in the house. Now,
Janae.
those of you who just new to us, even I sometimes I mix up the names. I say Shay, and then both the queens answer me. So bear with me today if I make a mistake. I make a mistake. But how you doing, Sister Shay?
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying
Good.
my Sunday. I just been chilling today. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
been
looking good over there. Okay,
yeah,
you've been
that's it.
chilling. And
Hey
Sister
Jermaine.
Shanae, Jermaine has got like a face, you know, and he's not even showing his eyes. He's got so
Yeah.
Queen Shanae,
Yes.
how are you this Sunday?
Greetings. I'm well. I am here. I'm retwisting my locks and I'm also participating, so I'm multitasking today.
Okay,
And
so you
Janae, this
know,
is like pre-birthday, isn't it?
It is. I was at Lake Merritt yesterday in Oakland and they was partying out there. It's nice to see us all gathering and uplifting each other. I never seen Oakland like this since maybe the late 80s.
Wow.
oh, yeah, yeah, that's some good vibing right there.
I mean,
And
they really are. They're cooking, they're selling their goods out there. Everybody's respecting each other's space. It was really something beautiful to see.
Oh man, I bet that was awesome.
Hmm.
and what's happening over there in Louisiana, Sister Bechet? You always out and about, and
I've
you
been
ever
in
been?
the last couple of days. I haven't really been doing much. I just been kind of doing things around here, just setting my energy and meditation, cooking, things like that. I
Yeah.
haven't really, I literally have not left my spot in a couple of days. So I just really been enjoying self, really.
Oh, that's a good thing. Some you time. There's nothing better than you time.
Right.
Speaking of you time, people people are in relationships
Look.
and and what is that? Anyway,
Oh, okay. Go
speaking of
ahead.
you speaking of you time, people are in relationships and they seem to forget about that it's about us and it's not about them. And it's
Hmm.
not about you, it's about us. It's not about I, it's about us. It's not about me, it's about us. And on this topic of incomplete relationships, this is a question for both of you queens. Even though this is beyond the surface, it's a Q&A for me according to my book, but I'm opening up the forum today. And anybody out there who's listening or join in, we welcome you to the platform and your questions. If you don't want to come on the platform, you can ask questions and Jermaine will post them. And in incomplete relationships, and let me just kind of narrow it down. I'm talking about the relationships that's never the people don't commit to. They don't commit officially in being together, and they don't commit officially in separating. Like we have people that's separated, but they're still married on paper. They will not get a divorce. We have people that's been together and living like they're married, but he won't commit to marrying, or in some cases, won't even buy a ring. They're
Right.
just together. And let's start with uh, the 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 couple that's been living together and the queens. You have a man that's been living with you for 4 years, but he won't marry you. Or take yourself out of it. You have a friend that's with a guy for going on 4 years. She wants to get married. She's doing everything with the guy. She's living with him. She don't have a ring, and he won't commit to marriage. What would you tell her? Start with, let's see. Start with Shay. That could be either one. Let's start with Pashay with a P.
Okay. So, um, I can
Well,
relate to that.
you can relate.
I can relate to that because I've gone through that, and I've never been a person for me because of just who I am and how I was brought up. I just never was a person to do the whole shacking thing, right? It's just I just feel like that's really for marriage. That could I could be the only person that thinks like that, but that's how I feel. But we were planning to get married. So that was like, hey, look, let's just get us started. We get our spot and then, we'll get married, really soon. Well, that really soon never came. And um, for me, I just went on and asked. I said, are we getting married? I mean, are we going to set a date? And he said, I don't like being pressured. And da 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 da. I mean, he just went in, right? At that time we were going to a church and all of that, and people at the church, y'all need to get married, all of that, the whole church hoopla. And so when he kind of went in on me about him feeling pressured, I was like, oh, okay, I see you. And with that, I knew that I had to take care of Pache. And, you know, you'll get it sooner or later. And so what I did was I went on and I saved my money. I got my own spot and I moved, and if this is not what you want, that's fine. Well, we're not gonna do this just because this is what you want. Then now I'm about to do me. And so I did. I got my own spot. I've been here for a year. I love my space. I love the vibration that I set in here because I made my own safe haven and it's peaceful. Um, the time frame is, everybody's different, how their relationship is. And I'm not, I'm only speaking from my perspective. So I'm not, ladies that's out there, if you've been with a guy and it's 2, 3, 4 years, we were living together 2 years. So, and if you desire to get married, if that's your desire and he's wavering on that, he's not sure, he's not solid in that, then you need to make a transition, whatever that looks like for you, whether if it's an exit, finding your own spot, because a lot of times we get caught up in the things and you don't want to separate, you don't want to spend that money, it's too costly for you to move, and then we'll hold on to that. But technically, if you really want to go, uh, if you really want to walk into your own light, then you have to make a decision. Every decision is not gonna feel good. It's gonna cost you a little money. Sometimes you got to pay for peace, and that's what I did. Um, if he's uncertain about that, you can't switch his mind. You can't change his mind. If that's where he is, then he needs to be with somebody that has the same mindset. that they could just live together and not get married. Same with you. If you want to get married, then you need to find somebody whose mindset is the same as yours. But the one thing that I know is you cannot change anyone's mind. If that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. If he does not want to get married to me and I'm just supposed to ride the wave and just accept what he's giving me, then shame on me. And I didn't want that. So I made my exit. I'm proud that I made my exit because I needed that. Creatively, I needed it. I needed it spiritually. I needed it mentally. So, physically, I needed it. So it just really depends on you. Don't stay there. If you have a goal and marriage is your goal, then you need to work towards that. If that person is not providing it, be it male or female, then you need to make an exit until you. This dude right here. I'm just looking at somebody's comment. Then we should make. I don't. He don't threw me all the way off. I shouldn't have never looked up there to look at that. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and this guy said, "Let's get married." So you got fans out there, Sister Shay.
Yeah,
We don't
I saw
we
that.
want to
That's
marry.
what threw me off. I shouldn't have
Yeah,
looked at the message. But
he
yeah.
said some people want to get married before they even live together. So another guy asked the question, "Why is marriage more important to a female than a male?" We're gonna get into that too. And
Okay.
and welcome, Sean. I think Sean was here earlier. And those of you just tuned in, this is Beyond the Surface. It's more than a Q&A day. We're opening up the platform talking about incomplete relationships. And Sister Pache just explained um, very eloquently that you have to really both of you who may be in that situation, who's living together and not married, and one wants to get married and one doesn't. You really have to look at what page each of you. You should be on the same page because
Right.
one is trying to go to a finish line and the other one is running the opposite way. so, so same question to Shanae. What would you tell a female who said, "I've been living with this guy going on 4 years, and I want a ring and I want marriage. Should I approach him with it?"
Okay, so I look at this approach on a very different level due to I have a 24-year-old son who has been faced with this question. And then I've been in two marriages. So I'm able to look at one from one perspective of being that person who felt that I needed to be married, and then also having the willing and ready to be married person. And
Mhm.
both of those relationships ended up not working. And the reason, when I look at it on a grand scale, uh, the foundation of why it didn't work, whether or not I felt like I should or shouldn't be married, is the mental state of both parties involved in the relationship process. So while it's great to have a standard, we all should have standards. Our standards shouldn't be based on the time frame of when we feel we should be married. Our standards should be based on the mental state of both parties. So a lot of times both men and women may not want to get married, not because there's anything against the other person, but there's something deeper, like Rich always says, beneath the surface, that is causing that person to resist that.
Mhm.
Marriage is very, to some people, final. It's like, a social contract, and you're entering into some type of contract, and so when you move away from this person, you suffer a death to a certain degree. So a lot of people, if they've already been in serious relationships or been in a marriage, and they're looking at themselves in a certain way where they may not trust themselves in a committed relationship for whatever reason, because they were in a committed relationship. So the point I'm getting to is, there's probably healing that needs to happen, which is why some people put up a resistance. And then those people who aim to want to just be married, there seems like there's some healing that may be needed there. So it could be a group effort. So for me, I say have a standard, but understand where your standard is coming from. And that's basically, so I don't think that there's a timeline on that. I don't feel like there's a timeline. I feel like individuals enter into an agreement. And if, let's say, you want to be married, right? So now that you want to be married, try to figure out where this person is coming from and what's causing them to not want to take that step. Because they may need you to walk through a different process with them, because there may be a trust issue. You never know. You got to go beneath the surface, like Rich always says.
Yes, and this show is uh, beneath the surface. Beyond the surface is what we do. So the question is, and I want people in the audience to listen to this too. The female comes to you and she would like to be married. She would like to be married. She would even like a ring. She says, I would like to be married, Shanae. But if he doesn't want to marry me now, I would settle for at least a ring, some type of action to where I'm going in that direction. So, um, and she asked, when I go back to him, what should I say?
So basically, she's wanting something to confirm that they're moving to the next level and they're not just at a standstill.
Yes,
Okay.
she's coming to you for advice.
My I would go with Pushay. My advice would be, if that's what she knows in her heart of all hearts that she wants, and that's not what he's ready to provide, then possibly it may work for her to move on. But that's what I would tell her. If she came to me and she was like, "That's it. I've been with him. I know what I want. This is what I want, and I need him to show me something." If he didn't show her what she wanted, because that's what she wanted, then yeah, she should move on. But there's yeah, there's gonna be stuff with that too. But if that's what she wants and she's not getting it from him, then yes, go and find what you're looking for.
Okay, and this is the next question uh, for the queens on the platform and for you out there. They both come to you now, and she says she has the same stance on it, but he says, "Look, we we wasn't planning on getting married in the first place,
Hmm.
and now she wants to get married, and now she wants all of this stuff. She was fine the first year. Now she wants to get married and all of this. So, what do you tell the both of them, uh, Shanae?
So originally, marriage wasn't on the table, but now she feels like she's been with him for a while, so she wants to be married. Well, okay. So in relationships, we all change. So apparently, she's changed her feelings for him in the relationship, but his feelings haven't changed. So my advice would be, you can't change anyone. Just because you change, you can't expect the other person to be at the same level as you. So that would I really all I could my only advice would be to, you can't expect somebody else to want the same thing that you want.
Right.
Okay. Now she says, I feel incomplete.
Oh.
She feels incomplete because she wants to be married and he doesn't want to be married.
Well,
So the
again,
in, so the incompleteness has nothing to do with him.
It's her.
It's her.
Yeah.
she says, I feel incomplete. So
No.
both of you are
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah, I'm with
So
Pishay. That's her. That's not the other individual.
That's that. You know what? That phrase right there. Ever since Boomerang, when Eddie Murphy hit that with Halle Berry, you complete me. You know, you must be whole and complete before you meet anybody, because you're jacked up. You're working on 50 instead of 100%. He's jacked up. He's working on 50. That 50-50 don't make a whole person.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all coming in there in a negative.
Yep.
So in order for you to be complete, you got to be complete within yourself. No person is going to complete you. You know, you
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 can
you're
complement each other. Yeah, you
right.
you could complement each other, but
But
completing
no,
each other, it doesn't work like that.
right. And why would you want to put that type of expectations on one person to complete you, to make you this quote unquote person that you're supposed to be? Man, no, no man, no woman. That is not their job. That is not our job to complete anybody. You've
Nope.
got to be
right. Okay.
100% yourself. You got to love yourself enough to know that you deserve the best, and you need to aim for it. And whatever that best for you looks like, okay, then you aim for it. And if that person that you're with is providing that type of service with you, then yeah, I mean, then y'all maybe could take the relationship to that marriage level. But if he's not thinking or in the same vein as you can't get mad at him. And like Shanae said, you can't force anybody to be what you feel like they're supposed to be. If you do, that relationship is destined to fail. You're gonna resent each other, and y'all holding on to hopes and maybes because it's supposed to, this picture is supposed to be painted out a certain type of way. No, no, your completeness lies within you. No person, no man, no woman completes anybody.
Okay. So she says, "Thank you for that advice. You're absolutely correct. But what completes a relationship?"
What completes a relationship is constant learning from each other and growing together. That is the only way anything can be completed, because it's a constant daily, what is the work in progress? That's what they use now. It's a work in progress. So you got to be able to work together. You got to be able to um um each person be able to give each other constructive criticism, receive that constructive criticism. It's an ongoing process. That's where the 50-50 imbalance comes in. There has to be a balanced understanding between the both. One person can't force too much of themselves on one and vice versa. There has to be
Mhm.
some kind of clear understanding.
Yeah.
So
And
you're
respecting each
saying,
other's boundaries and where they are, respecting that level, respecting people's gifts and what they bring to the table, their gifts, their talents, and things like that, because we all bring that in, one way or the other. So that respect just kind of add to what Shanae said, and add in respect to that, because that means a whole lot in a relationship too.
so since you queens are agreeing on what completes a relationship, are you saying that a relationship that is complete is a moving thing?
Yes.
It's some You're saying yes, it's a
It's
moving.
constantly progressing. As you progress in age, your relationship evolves as well.
Yeah. So you're saying that a complete relationship is a flowing relationship,
It can't be stagnant.
right?
Hmm.
It's a relationship that's not stagnant or static. It's flowing,
Mm-hmm.
and in that flowing, you're learning together,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're learning together. Now, in that flowing, one may get closer to one than the other. One may say, well, in the beginning, I didn't want to be married, but now I do. This is what the female is saying. And the male is saying, look, you said not marriage. I ain't with that, all that, what you saying. You know, if you would have told me this in the beginning, I wouldn't even have been with you because now you switching up on me.
Right.
You switching up now, and I we agreed on doing this. With now we going on 4 years living together, and she says now they're arguing in front of you, and she says, "Well, we've been living like we married, and we've been acting like we married. I take my clothes off like I'm married, and I let you have this body like I'm married. And what's the difference between being married and what we doing now?" And she look at you, Pache, and she look at you, Shanae. What's the difference in being married and what we doing now? Anyone can jump in.
Well,
Well, there's a couple of
uh,
things that's different, right, Miss Pache? So,
yeah,
I, medical benefits, that's a difference.
there you
Okay.
go. Mortgage.
Retirement plan, that's a difference.
Mhm.
Oh, so you saying the difference is money? You
I
mean he won't
mean,
marry me?
no, that's stability. We talking about insurance. Insurance is not money. Medical
Yeah,
insurance is not money.
I'm talking about love. I'm talking about being together and action of being together. I'm playing the role as her, obviously.
Well, y'all are together, honey. Like, I don't understand. You together.
Yeah, so what's the difference in him giving me a ring at least?
A piece of, oh, a ring. Oh, okay. A ring. What's the difference in him giving you a ring? Why do you feel like, who told you you needed a ring?
He said he didn't want to be married, and I say I'm treating him like I'm his wife.
What does being a wife look like?
It looks like me,
It looks like you. So you've
and
been
it
a
looks
wife
like what
before?
I'm doing.
Have you been a wife before?
I'm a wife now. I've been with him going on 4 years.
Oh, so you saying because you are you so let me get this correct. So are you
But
saying
wait,
that
wait,
since
wait, wait, wait a minute, baby, wait a minute, baby. Now I told her. Now this is the veil. Now
okay,
I told her in the beginning that I'm not with the marriage thing. Let's see how this gonna work first. And then after like the second year or so, she started talking about, well, my girlfriend's got rings and my
right?
girlfriend got this, that, and the other. So I'm starting to
Mm-hmm.
think, don't be comparing us
Mm-hmm.
to them. And so it was going good until all this outside stuff she bringing up,
Mm-hmm.
and so wait a minute. Ain't no outside stuff going on. I told you, I told you after the second year, what if I want to marry you? You remember that question? And so now they going back and forth. And so now they going back and forth to where you can't shut them up. So what you gonna say to shut them up?
What he gonna say to shut her up?
No, what you gonna say to shut them up
Oh,
to pay attention
Like
to you?
as if like Shanae, like if you were their counselor.
so
They
again,
both in
I
your kitchen. They both in
I
your kitchen.
I would go. It would go down to what are you both gonna agree on? Okay, and if both of you are agreeing on different directions, it looks like y'all walking away from each other. If you can't come to an agreement. And if you can't come to an agreement you, uh, based on feelings involved here, when there's some different type of feelings going on because you've been together for so many years, so you have feelings, but all of a sudden another feeling is going to cause some type of strife between you guys. You're moving away from each other. So I would advise you to figure out what's going to move you towards each other and not away.
I
Well, I just
totally
want you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, that's just her. That's just her. I'm playing the role of him and her. They arguing in front of in y'all kitchen.
Okay.
Okay.
And they gotta be calmed down and start looking at the solution of this. So what
Well,
you tell them?
okay, and I same thing, with Shanae. I mean, because y'all at this point, I'm talking to the couple. What is it that what is it that you guys want individually? If Are you staying on the same page saying, okay, we agreed to this 4 years ago that we wasn't trying to do no marriage thing, we just want to be together and enjoy each other. And so 2 years halfway mark, people are in your ear saying, girl, I wouldn't have he can't get the milk for free. What is it? Buy the cow, get the milk for free, whatever that is. And every day you washing his clothes and this, that, and the other. But both of y'all providing the service to each other. What's most important? The image of marriage and having a ring, or continuing a loving relationship that's going to blossom and grow that y'all have already established? Is this going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? Is this going to end the relationship? If marriage is important to you, then you may want to find someone that feels the same way that you do. If you want to just have a relationship with a female and she just accepts the fact that we just going to do this live-in thing and this is going to be us until we leave this earth, then you need to find someone that's going to do the same thing. um,
Right.
Neither one of them, right, and neither one of them can get mad at each other for changing their mind. She changed her mind because people were in her ear. He stayed the course because that was really how he felt.
Right.
And respectfully, you just have to agree to disagree. Is no need to keep beating a dead horse uh, to get what you want. And I saw somebody say, why is it that women look at this as marriage is like this badge of whatever? And I think it's not all women. um some women, I've gotten to be at my point of maturity, of realizing that I just want to have joy in my life. I just want to be happy. And if somebody can help and bring some of that happiness in, that's fine. If not, I can marry myself. I buy jewelry and marry myself all the time. And so, I have, for me, it's not I mean, if it's out there, it'll happen. But I'm not going into it saying, "Oh, is he gonna be my husband?" But a lot of women make that mistake. They looking at dudes instead of learning and growing with this person and learning more about this person. They make the mistake of trying to tag a husband label on him before they even find out if they like each other, let alone love, but like each other. So
Right. So the guy says, well, look, I don't want to separate. I see what y'all saying, but I don't want to separate because I love her. Yeah, I love you too. Now I'm playing the role of both of them arguing to get in front of you. I
Mm-hmm.
love you too. Well, I love you, so stop trying to pressure me and let's just keep what we got because let's just keep what we got because there's no real problem. This It is a problem because I love you too, and I don't want to separate, and I'm pregnant.
bruh.
Okay. Being pregnant is not a deal breaker for marriage. I just want everybody to know. Pregnancy is not a deal breaker for marriage.
No, it's not. And
Not at
women,
all.
stop using that. Stop using it. I'm talking to my sisters out there. Stop using that, please.
Yeah, it don't work. It's the oldest trick. It didn't work then. It doesn't work now.
Well, she's saying I'm pregnant, and I'm pregnant, and I'm sure the three of y'all surprised. And don't be looking at you here with your eyes open, because he's talking to him. and he called me a bitch. He called me a bitch the other night, talking about stuff with him. And I don't want to. I'm not gonna be two more bitches. I got your baby, and if you can marry me, because we married now because I got your baby and we staying together. We've been doing this almost 4 years. Our relationship is incomplete.
Let me tell you something. That is a speed train, uh, a speed train of disaster, of resentment on its heels. Because now she's trying to force him into something that he's not ready for. And he's going to resent her for that.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. No, no, no. I ain't forcing him. I'm not forcing him nothing. Look, he
You,
told me he be with me. He having sex with me. He doing is you know, we doing everything like we married, but that's for me and him. But what about the baby now? Was he thinking about the baby? Or was he just thinking about having his fun with me?
Well, now that comes down to this is not just a he thing, okay? Because
right.
you've been acting like you've been married too.
Get her,
So,
Shanae. Get her.
so this is not just a he thing. It's a you decided
No,
you
no,
was gonna
no,
do
no,
this
no.
type of thing.
We both been acting like we married. We both doing the same thing to each other. The woman, the one, I'm the one get pregnant. I'm the
Okay.
one get pregnant.
Well, you the one who didn't
And
take
on,
no
I
birth
didn't,
control.
I didn't plan on getting pregnant. I didn't plan
But
on getting pregnant
okay, well, here's the thing. When if we're not going to go all through those loopholes, but the pregnancy is here, and the pregnancy happened when you wasn't married. So why you need to be married now?
because we got a third person coming in, which is part of both of us, and it can complete us. This relationship to me is incomplete.
So you got a third person here.
Look,
You got
look,
a
I
third
know what
person.
you're saying. Look, I'm gonna take care of my baby. I'm gonna take care of my baby. I take care of mine. I take care. Take care of the marriage then. Well, look, don't I keep the heat on? Don't I get the tires fixed? Didn't I buy a new car? Didn't I get us a new place? And I'm gonna take care of my baby too. And but if I don't want to get married, I ain't trying to get married right now. And I told you this in the beginning. Well, all the stuff we doing now, a baby growing in it. Okay, a baby growing in it. Now, if I walk away, if you can't walk away, what you mean I can't walk away? It's child support ain't gonna let you walk away.
Look, I'm in the kitchen cutting onions. I've stopped cutting onions. I'm sitting in Shanae's kitchen. I've stopped cutting onions, and I'm looking at this chick like, really?
And I'm just sitting at the table with my hands folded.
Look,
Mm.
are you telling me that we shouldn't get married? Is this what y'all saying?
What I This is what I want to know. What does marriage have to do with any of this that you have brought in this kitchen here?
Because we got a family now.
Y'all were already a family.
But now we got a third party now. We got a baby coming.
That was choice. That didn't have anything to do with marriage. That was your choice.
And do you love him?
Yeah, I love him. Do you
Okay,
love me?
do you love her?
Yeah, I love her. I told her I
Oh,
love her.
okay, so
I
the
love it.
baby was
I love what
created
we got.
out. Okay, so the baby was created out of love, of whether or
Okay.
not you were married or not. So the
Mm-hmm.
conception is there, and the baby's created out of love. Y'all have created a house, a home from love. So why does this title mean so much to you
Right.
that you want to force a marriage when technically y'all have already been a family? You are growing a family and you did it out of love. So why is this title so important?
I just feel the relationship is not complete.
Feel, you feel the relationship is not complete. Tell me about this, what you feel.
Yeah, please explain the word feel.
He right in the beginning. I said, yeah, let's get together. Let's shack up. Let's do this. And we doing that. But we
So
grew
he gave,
closer.
okay, wait, so he gave you what you asked for.
And I gave him what he asked for.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is I'm falling more and more in love with him. And since we acting and doing everything like we married and a baby on the way, what's the difference?
There is no difference. This is what me and Pache are trying to figure out. Why do you need a title? You're with him. Have you met his mother, his family? Do you know his family?
Look, we done did all that. We've been together almost 4 years. We was together 2 years before that. And we decided to move in together. And everybody told us not to move in together. We move in together. And we've been naked. We've been shopping. We've been traveling. We've been doing everything upside down, every which way but loose.
So you are
And
married.
now, yes, so I am married. So he should have had no problem walking me down the aisle.
Oh, so you just want, so you're doing this for people to see. Though this not even about your relationship. This is about
Look, can
everybody else
I,
so they can
Other
have
can I,
something to say.
people.
can I say something? I'm gonna say this. Yeah, we was together a long time, and okay, I got her pregnant, but I ain't sure that's my baby.
Ooh, why do I feel like I'm in a R. Kelly in the closet video right now?
Wait a minute. Wait. Y'all live in the same house together and you don't know if that's your baby?
Did she tell y'all about the time when she didn't show up one Saturday, and then I still ain't got a good answer?
How many
And
times
we,
you haven't showed up?
yeah, how many times you haven't showed up? And you always with the friends. You always working late,
Wait,
and I
wait.
went by the job, and you
I'm,
don't
I'm
quit.
asking. I'm asking him, niece. I don't need your help, sir. How many times you haven't showed up home?
Look, we talking about her right now.
No. This is a group discussion. This is an open discussion. Since you brought to the table that she didn't come home for a night, and I'm sure you haven't come home for a night, I want to just make sure that y'all both was doing the same stuff.
But all I'm saying is, any man in their right mind is,
No. You didn't answer the
any
question.
man
Have
in
you
a
not
man
came
in
home
their
before? Have you not came home?
look. I'm 26 years old,
So
and
you have. Oh, you have not came home. So then you understand how sometimes you may just be out with your friends and chilling and you want to stay out. So are you suggesting it's okay for a man to stay out and not a woman?
Ooh,
it
this is good.
it's okay for a man to make sure the baby is. I know that much
So you just not go answer the question, basically. Now
because
I
we ain't
understand
married.
her frustration.
Ooh,
So now you taking her side.
No. See, you keep changing. You never answered my first question.
We talking about her and the baby, whether it's mine or not.
Okay, what that got to do with her staying out all night?
Because look, when we had our ups and downs, I'm sure she might have been out there doing something, and I
Just like
gotta find
you might
out.
have been out there doing something. You may have a baby out there too from the night you stayed out.
Yeah, but I'm staying with her.
So she's staying with you.
wait, whoa. You say yeah, but you staying with her. Is this true? Is this a fact? Have and a baby outside of this relationship?
Oh, you see how he talked over that?
Look, why y'all trying to put this on me now? She the one pressuring me.
First of all, could you please stop talking in riddles? Because we know how to rhyme. Okay. We know. So you tried to
Look,
bring
I'm
up the
I'm
fact that
20,
you
I'm
don't know if
I'm
it's your
26
baby.
years old. I'm
What
26 years old. I'm a
what that
grown
got to
man.
do with anything? Oh, so can I ask a question? Do you not want to get married because you may have another baby out there in those streets?
No, I would have said that. I'm saying I don't want to get married because I don't want to get married. I don't want
Okay.
to get married. I like things as they is right now.
Okay, so let me ask you something, sir. Since you want to keep everything the way that it is, you still love her. You want her to still stay up under the same roof.
If I didn't love her, I wouldn't put the brakes on the car. If I didn't love her, I wouldn't pay the bills. If I didn't love her, I wouldn't make love to her.
Okay, That's something that you're supposed to do if you're in a relationship. If
Right.
she cooks and she washes dishes and she cleans the house, she makes the bed and does all of those things, that's what a relationship is. You don't get points for doing stuff as you saw fit because you felt the need that you want to help her, you wanted her to be safe. You don't get points for that. That's what you're supposed to do in a relationship. That's what a relationship is for. That's equivalent to a man saying, I take care of my kids. You don't get no points for that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So here's the thing. Here's the question, sir. If you
I'm
want
26 years. I'm 26 years old.
okay, sir, since you're certain about that you don't want this relationship to be over and you still love her and she says she still loves you, so why are you bringing up this issue about this child?
And her staying out for a night when you stayed out too, but you're just not going to admit it.
Yes. So what was the point of that? Are you discrediting this woman that you love, that you said that y'all have built a relationship? Are you now discrediting her as the woman that you love?
Well,
Because she stayed out.
you know how many partners I got that live with their woman and taking care of kids ain't theirs. They find out it wasn't theirs.
That's
My
their
boys tell
problem.
Also,
me this
That,
all the time.
that's their problem. And are they complaining about it?
Yeah, they complaining about it. I hear this from my boys all the time. They
Okay,
they
so
told
so
they told
so
me she
are
gonna
you
get
running your
pregnant if
household?
we stay together.
Are you
They
running your
already told me.
household or theirs?
They already told me if she get pregnant, you better find out, make sure it's yours, cause she gonna eventually get pregnant, cause y'all been living together so long.
Okay, so now you're doing exactly what she was doing by wanting to get
oh, good, Shanae.
married.
I was just about to say that. That's it.
Oh, so you listening to outside sources, she's listening to outside sources. So you guys don't really have a level of communication between the two of you guys.
And y'all not thinking for yourselves.
You're not
Y'all
thinking
allow
for yourself.
right.
Well, you know, all I say, I feel incomplete too. I feel incomplete about the relationship too. Now that this
Well,
baby
you
thing,
are incomplete because you're bringing your friends and your family and everybody else relationship into your household. So you're going to stay incomplete. You don't know how to think on your own.
I'm 26 years old. I'm a grown man.
What does age have to do with anything, honey?
Also, anytime you got to drop dime and drop a title every time you say something, that lets me know how insecure you are about your age of being 26 years old, young man.
She
Right.
loves me. She don't think I'm insecure. She love me. I ain't with y'all. I'm with her.
Oh, you're right. You're with
So
her,
if
not
you not with us and you with her, is that what you tell your friends when they call you saying certain things? Do you tell your friends, hey, y'all not with her, I'm with her? Or do
Y'all
you
gotta admit.
continue to
But I
discuss your
seen it
business?
happen though. I seen it happen to my boy. I seen it happen to my boy.
but you know, here's the thing. You've heard the whole old saying, misery loves company.
I'm telling
Have
you,
you
I
ever
seen it happen. I seen it
I'm
happen.
asking you a question. Have you ever heard the phrase misery loves company? Have you ever
Yeah,
heard that?
yeah, I heard that. What about?
Okay, well, if your friends are so-called unhappy because their girlfriend, their wife stepped out, got another child, and it's not theirs, and this, that, and the other. See, they're talking to you from their experiences because they want you to be in the same category they're in. Sometimes people that are very unhappy would throw a monkey wrench in something that they envy.
Right.
Y'all have something on the outside that is causing people to come in and try to switch gears on y'all. Both of y'all have had outside influences. Your friends
Hmm.
are in your ear about whether or not if that telling you if she gets pregnant, it may not be yours. She has outside influences telling her y'all just need to get married. Y'all have been living together long enough. Y'all need to get married. But here's the thing. The title doesn't determine your happiness. If y'all have been happy all the way up until this point, and y'all, and if you look and you notice, that all of y'all problems started from outside influences, y'all might want to change gears, and y'all might want to change your friends and the people that y'all involve into your relationship. But it's
See,
because it
that's what I
sounds
was
like,
telling him. That's what I was telling him. It's the female talking. Look, that's what I was telling him. He always tell me he's 26 years old. I'm 26 years old. I'm 26 years old. I know I got a 3-year-old nephew to be like, I'm 3 years old. I'm 3 years old. That don't mean nothing. Look, I love him. He loved me. So we got friends that's hating
ma'am,
on us. I always tell him that his friends is hating. Look, you don't know that your boy Curtis is trying to sleep with me. You
ma'am,
ain't know that.
ma'am, ma'am. Okay, okay. Now that I've got your attention, I'm not siding with you, ma'am. I'm not, because you started this whole thing because of your outside influences about marriage. So you started this whole thing. Now it has perpetually gotten to this point right
Started it. Who started it? No, it's the look.
here.
All I'm
Ma'am, ma'am,
saying right now.
ma'am, ma'am.
Look, yeah. She trying
You
to ask you a question. She trying to ask you a question. You do the same thing with me. I can't get a word in edgewise. You
Yep.
yap. You beating on the back of my neck like a woodpecker with a headache.
What did I say, Pishay, in the beginning, that there was no level of understanding and communication? Isn't that what I said?
That's
This
exactly
is the
what you said.
problem. This
Okay,
is
okay,
the
look.
problem.
Okay, look. She feel incomplete about the relationship. I feel incomplete about the relationship. So what we
Okay.
going? I'm 26.
No,
I'm
no.
26. I'm grown. She 24. Now she says she got a baby on the way. That's gonna complete us. How we gonna complete this relationship?
The only persons who knows how they're going to complete that relationship is you and her. You are the only two who know how you will complete whatever your definition. I feel like you're using the wrong terminology here, but since you want to use complete, you guys will figure out how to complete it. Nobody else can tell you that. Not your friends, not your cousins, your mom. Nobody can do that but you. We didn't put
Yeah,
y'all together. You found each other.
yeah, but that's your advice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We wanna be. We wanna be together.
you are
we'll be
together.
together.
Yeah, but I ain't getting married.
Then don't.
Then, I mean, that's it. Don't.
But I love her.
Okay, continue to
Okay.
love her.
You gonna love me, baby, if I don't marry you? I can take care of the kid. I take care of you. And maybe I might change my mind down the line. Okay, baby. I see what you're saying. But don't be trying to
See,
act like it ain't yours.
Hey King, I think you need some
So
help, man.
y'all, so y'all, so y'all,
no,
so y'all
he don't
calm it
know.
down.
He don't need no
No,
help.
no, wait a minute. I told you he couldn't resist butting in, didn't I?
I know.
Dang.
Nah,
Now,
I gave
now
y'all
this
I
whole
gave y'all
situation,
53 minutes, man.
this look, this whole situation, y'all seeing both couples, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Now, the male finally comes out and says, okay, maybe I might change my mind. She says, okay, baby, you might. We got a baby on the way, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So you see how a relationship can be incomplete when both people are just concentrating on what I want instead of what us want.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right. That's it.
Yes.
And young people, they go through this whole maze. Now, let's flip the script. Now we got two adults who who was married officially, walked down the aisle,
Hmm.
had kids, they was married, and now they don't want to be together anymore. They separated themselves, and now it's going on 3 years without an official divorce.
Mm.
How do you guys feel about that? Anybody can jump in on this,
So
Danae.
my question would be, are any of the persons in the separated marriage planning on being with anyone else. If you're planning on being with anyone else or moving into any type of other relationship, how would you go about telling the person or even expecting someone to take you seriously when you haven't handled your business?
That's and just also to piggyback on that too, you've got to close out everything, because it's not fair to someone that's being brought into something that's not finalized, and you owe it to yourself to finalize it, so you can, because after you finalize it, you still need time to sort things out. You need time to heal. You need time to process everything, just as that other person. But it's not fair. It's not fair to you to half-assed go into anything else without finalizing, and moving forward. Once you are solid and secure, and with your mindset, the processing of it all, and you have grown from it, then you could slide into dating or seeing someone else in between that time. Usually, whenever you start seeing or dating people uh, after the fact, they're not getting the best parts of you.
Exactly.
They're getting remnants of you, because you have not completely healed, and
Right.
yeah, you owe it to yourself to heal.
Right. Because the worst thing you can do, nobody, when you walk into other situations and you haven't healed and you haven't closed doors, unconsciously, you're continuously bringing that person into the current.
Yes.
Can I interject?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can interject right after this. Same scenario. You got two adult friends that's around your age, and she's saying, Shay, Shanae, Jay, I ain't wanna tell you, but we've been separated for 2 years, but we don't have a divorce. What do you
Then
say?
they naturally separated.
No, they're not.
They're not
They
separated. And I can
Yeah,
guarantee you they're still seeing each other off and on.
yeah. It's still a connection.
It's
Nobody
still a
wants to let go.
connection.
Yeah, it's still a connection, and
But I
nobody wants
no,
to let
but I found somebody new.
Uh,
Do I
Hey,
I
do I
well,
tell them?
I agree with what y'all stating, but y'all have to take into accountability um, who you're dealing with at that particular moment. Like, take for instance, say you do separate, say you do actually get the divorce, but is that separation a real separation when there's children involved? See, you have a lot of females or women that
What
intend,
do you mean when you say if it's a real separation?
fam, you still have to deal with the person. You may not be in a committed relationship or a sexual relationship with them, but you have situations and circumstances where women will make it a crippling situation, knowing the fact that that man has kids with that particular woman, even though they are divorced and been separated or whatever, but they're still tied to the kids. A lot of women make that an issue.
which woman are you talking about? You talking about the new
The
woman, or you
new, the
talking
new,
about?
the new woman will make that
Okay,
into
that
conversation.
needs to be something that needs to be discussed up front before y'all go any further. That needs to
Right.
be put on the table
Right.
when y'all meet. That's something that
Right.
you lay out on the line. You need to understand and
Right.
know her stance on it.
Uh-huh.
But you can't, it can't be nothing that she's blindsided with. She's got to know up front. That's something that you lay out, because your children are a part of you. You are a package deal, period. So she's got to know that up front.
And
I
that's what
have
I'm
yeah,
and
she needs to,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Off rip, I am a package deal,
Mhm.
but most women won't settle for that. There's some form of insecurity within that aspect
That's
as
not a
well.
form of insecurity. It's a
Find the
choice.
right woman. She the wrong
No,
woman
that's
then.
a yeah, that's a choice. That's not an insecurity. That's a choice. And
Yeah.
everybody has a choice whether they do or they don't want to deal with drama, because drama comes with that. And that's just what it is.
I mean, drama comes on all four fronts in anything. The end of
But
the
we're
day,
not talking about anything. We're
that,
just talking
that,
about the relationship part right now with the kids.
that's pretty much what it is. Whether it's a regular relationship or whether it's with kids, at the end of the day, I look like I've always stated this stance. A relationship, right, is a bond and a form of understanding with two individuals that's willing to
I'll go.
suffer together per se. Y'all don't look at it that way.
I mean, it's a part of it, but it's not all of it. Now, here's the thing. 'Cause see, I definitely understand what you're saying. The one thing that I want you to hear me on is that the fact that if the sister has an issue with you, you still, because you're supposed to interact with your children. Your children, whether the extra activity with the ex-wife or whatever, that right there, that's a no-go, right? So, but the children, that's a must. Now, if the sister has an issue with it, it's the wrong person you're supposed to be with. Because the one thing that you don't want to happen is it is not fair to you, it's not fair to your children for you to have to choose. And if you're in a relationship that forces you to choose, you are in the wrong relationship. Because that it's gonna be, if a person has children, that sister off the top needs to know and understand that you are going to have interaction with your children, and you possibly going to have some sort of interaction with their mom, just as long as the boundaries are set. But if she can't get past that and she's making you choose, she is not the right person. And trying to make her understand, or trying to, y'all arguing all the time because she can't understand this, she wants you to do this. No, you choose your children first. You choose your children first. She's got to know and understand that needs to be discussed at the very beginning, before y'all sleep together, any of that needs to be like, y'all first date needs to be like, hey, look, I have children. I'm serious about my children. I can't bring any other female around it. I'm just letting you know that there's a possibility before you meet my children. I have to know you and know about you and this, that, and the other. But I do have this, and this, and this. She needs to know that. And then she has to make a sound decision. Well, this is not really what I'm looking for. That's cool. Cut your losses and y'all go ahead, either enjoy the date or end it right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We went through the couple that was 26 years old and 24 years old. Now we got a couple that's 45 and 43.
Oh,
Now
so the children should be fairly of age, right?
no, listen to me. I said the first scenario was the two couples. The man said, I'm 26 years old. I'm 26 years old. And the woman was 24. Now we're dealing with an adult couple who's married but don't want to make an official divorce. One is 45 and one is 43. They old enough and they know what they should be doing.
Oh, they playing.
The relationship,
Well,
wait, let me finish. Let me
okay.
finish the question. So they both are adults. It's different with children, not children, but young adults is different, because you see how the young adults, they said, okay, I might grow into you. They still have an optimistic look on life. One was 26, one was 24. Now we're dealing with a couple that divorced themselves in their mid 40s, who know right from wrong, who's been through the ringer. Now, but they will not get a divorce. And one has met somebody. And that one happens to be your friend and saying, girlfriend, what should I do?
I'm like, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. Because that means he's still connected.
Why don't do it?
Why? Because he's not going to fully commit to you.
But
It's going to he's going to always have that door, that window cracked for hopes and maybes. Because if the relationship is over, then he should move on. But if it's not, don't bring anybody else into it. You're going to get hurt. It
Okay,
never ends.
Shanae. Okay, Shanae, what you tell your male friend with the same situation? He's
The
got a
male.
wife. He's
Mm-hmm.
got a wife. He's separated. He's separated. They got 3 kids. But your male friend says, "I'm really into her. What should I do? I don't. She loves me. I love her. So, but she not divorced yet officially. But they ain't together because they've been separated for 3 years.
Okay, so my first question would be for him is how serious are you about this woman who you've met?
I'm very serious,
Okay, so
and she's
why
very
aren't
serious about me.
okay, and so why are you still married to your ex?
No, your friend is in love with a woman who's still married to her ex. Shanae's
Mm,
scenario, Pashay's scenario is Pashay's girlfriend is likes a guy who's not officially divorced. Your situation, Shanae, is your male friend is in love with a woman who's not officially divorced.
Oh, okay,
ooh,
okay. So my question would be is he willing to possibly share her since she's still married?
No, talk to him like you're talking
That's
to
my
him.
question. So are you willing to share her with her husband?
No, I want you to talk to him, Shanae.
That's me
she
talking
is.
to him.
She is. She
I
talking to
know, I
him.
know, I know, but I'm not going to play the role like I did with the young couple. I want you ladies to tell them what's up.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, I mean, I would ask, are you willing to share this man with his wife? Because he technically still has a wife. I know you're probably thinking, but they not together. They ain't even around each other. Okay, but she's still legally binded to him. So my question would be, what do you plan on having with this woman? Do you ever plan on marrying her? If you don't plan on marrying her, then fine, stay with the woman that's married. But if you plan on marrying her and having something with her, how are you going to have anything with her when she has something with someone else? What are you planning on doing with this person? What are you planning on building with this person? What are you just gonna like? I don't know. You just liking on her? Or you just want to have someone to love? Or are you trying to build a foundation with her? If you're trying to build a foundation with her, she needs to be divorced. 'Cause
hmm,
anything that you and her do,
So,
she can take it.
yeah.
so, so, so you're saying because their answer is their answer to you to everything you're telling them is I love them and want to be with them and they love me and want to be with me. The same they're telling the female is telling Shanae Pache that, and your male friend Shanae is telling you that I love them, they love me, and but you're telling them I want you to tell them how you see it. So Shanae, you saying that he shouldn't love her. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying love who you want to love, but you need to know who you're loving. So you need to know that you're loving a married woman. And if you're okay with loving a married woman, then that's fine. Love her. But there's consequences that come with it. And if you're willing to put up with those consequences, then love who you want to love.
And he
That's
says,
it.
"Well, they haven't been interacting for 3 years." That's his answer to you.
Again, if you're fine with loving someone who technically belongs to someone else, then fine. If that works for you. If you never plan on marrying her and she never plans on marrying you, have at it.
Yeah. If y'all just having fun, then
If you
I
just
mean,
having fun, then have fun.
Because I'm not in it for fun. I love her. I love her. And your friend is telling you, Pache, I love him.
And then my question would be, what exactly what do you want out of this love relationship? Tell
yeah.
me what you want out of this love relationship.
I want all the above.
What is that?
Haven't listed anything. What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, I want to, whatever love does. If we married, we married. If we have kids, we have kids. But but um now here's the ultimate question to both of you. Now you
Mhm.
already know the scenario. You already gave their answers, but I want you to answer their why. Their why is, well, why do people do that?
Why do people do?
What my why is, they're breaking down and telling you why do
Okay, I see what you're
why
saying.
why 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 are they not completing the separation? Why do people do that?
Okay, I'll go first. Um, he because at this point I'm talking to the sister that that you gave me. So if he's not willing to finalize the divorce, there may still be some attachment. And he may not be man enough to tell you that it is. He may say it's over. It's we're not getting back together. We have kids. We take care of our kids, and but I just don't want to sign the papers. Okay, but why doesn't he want to sign the papers? There's a connection that's still there. That's something that you would never have with him. And if that is the case, then you're setting yourself up for a hit that's going to be so hard that's going to take a minute for you to bounce back because you have committed yourself to this man who is still technically committed to a whole nother woman. He will never be able to give you all that you need, you know, um, you know, what's still their strong connection? What's them from filling out finalizing these papers? So you're connected to a man and you're giving your all to a man who cannot possibly give you the same. Though he's telling you that, but his actions say something different. They're still connected. And in the back of his mind, they're not ready to let go. And until they get tired of this 3 year separation, that's when they'll finalize that. But it's not going to have anything to do with what you're saying or what your request is. They have not gotten tired of each other. And until people don't do what they're supposed to do, until they get tired of themselves in that situation, you get tired of the man hitting on you, beating on you, then you're going to make a change. You get tired of the woman stepping out, cheating on you, then you're gonna get tired of yourself feeling that way, then you'll make a change. Until obviously he's not tired because he has not finalized his paperwork. So you walking in the dark in hopes of something final and stable, and he's not there yet.
So, you know, uh, thoroughly answered. Okay, Shanae, I love
Yes.
the guy is telling you, I love her and she loves me. That she hasn't been interacting with her ex in 3 years. The three kids love me. They show me love. We have a family, Shanae. But why do you think she's doing this?
Um, there I'm gonna agree with Pache. There's a level of connection. She's still connected to him. Whether I don't care if they haven't talked or seen each other in 3 years, they still have there's a certain level of connection that they have. And you can't build a foundation with someone who already has a foundation. She already has a foundation. So I mean you can love her as much as you want, you can love the kids, but at any given time she can tell you she wants to be back with her husband because she has a husband. And if you're okay with that, if you're willing to take that chance of having your feelings hurt and it doesn't bother you that much due to you feel like you're so in love, then I go ahead and go on with the relationship. But I would advise you to protect yourself.
Yeah, but anybody can leave anybody, whether they married or not. But I'm saying, why do people do this?
Why do they stay in marriages?
Why they keep the separation incomplete?
Why do they make it incomplete? Because they want to still be connected to the other party in some type of way. That is
They're
why.
not ready,
That's why.
ready to let
They,
go. Mhm.
they're not ready to let go. And how do you know that they just don't have you there to get through whatever they're going through right at this moment in that marriage?
So, we've been seeing each other, and I talked to the man. Me and the man had lunch together. He said he ain't got nothing to do with her. They got 3 kids together, and he don't mind the kids being with me, and me and her went on a trip with the kids, and we had fun. I love
Did,
her.
did you ask him why he wasn't divorced?
Well, he said that they got to understand it, and I was like, okay, y'all got to understand it. I understand. I love her. So, but my thing is, why do people can't complete a separation?
Because
They're
they
not
don't
ready.
want to. They don't want to complete the separation.
Why? Why?
It's their choice.
Why?
You know what? A lot of people, to be honest, they know that the relationship is over,
It'll be
and
finalized.
they
Yeah.
don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to sever the ties. Um, and it could be several reasons that they don't want to sever the ties. One, the person may not want to pay for the divorce and feel like that the other person's supposed to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the other thing is because they may have children with this person and they don't want to fully sever ties because they quote unquote don't want any other person around their children. And that's their
But
way of
that's
maintaining control.
but
It's a
I don't mean
control.
to interrupt. I don't mean to interrupt you, friend, but that's their problem. It ain't mine.
Okay, well, you know what? If that's the way you feel, it's going to
I love
affect you the worst
I
way if
love
you don't look at the reality of it.
Oh, so
If you
you
don't look
saying
at
I'm
the
not looking.
reality of it, it's going to affect you in the worst way.
Hmm. So it's a fact. It's the reality is that I love her and she loves me.
Okay. Well, carry on then. So, I mean, if that's what it is, then carry on because obviously what we're saying is not answering the questions that you want because you have already solidified your answer. You were waiting for an answer for us to tell you that, hey, go ahead, have
No,
fun.
no,
But
no.
you're trying to look at a serious perspective. You want something more that she cannot give you. I can't answer the reason why she's still there, but if you're willing to hang on and hope that they finalize their divorce and you're going to be the man of choice for her, then you stay around and hang on. But if that's what you choose to do, don't ask any questions. Just ride the wave.
So so I should look at this as see. I agree with you, but my whole thing is I can treat my relationship with her better if I can get the answer why they
Well,
won't
I mean,
see.
Why they stay in incomplete relationships?
Yes.
A lot of it is fear. Fear of actually separating, fear of not having the title of my wife or my husband. A lot of it is fear.
Hmm.
fear of starting over.
Fear of starting over. Yeah.
So you think I should make her get a divorce? Or I should tell her we can't go no further till she gets a divorce?
I think you should find out the root cause. What is the understanding that they have of why they are still in the marriage? Since they have a quote unquote understanding.
Well, she told me for the kids.
Okay, so they're still together. If it's for the kids,
Yep.
so they still together. They're just taking a break.
And that is a horrible excuse. I hate when people put that title for the kids. Those kids, if they're in their 40s, those kids are old enough to know what it is. Stop using the kids as an excuse. That is an excuse
And
to
a lot of
hold
times the kids don't, how could it, if you're completely not in the same household, how can it be for the kids when marriage, that's not what marriage looks like. So what
right.
is, I don't that can't be for the kids.
That's the lie you tell yourself. That's the lie you tell yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. That fear is real. That fear is keep
What
that
now?
fear you
What
lie.
I wonder, I would ask her what she thinks going to happen as far as the children if there's a divorce. I don't understand. What would happen with the children if they got divorced?
Especially if they're already on, if they're in two separate households, it
Yeah,
already is what it is.
right.
The
I mean,
paperwork is just to find a legality, but it's already
right.
what it is, right?
Because
So finalize
90
the paperwork, it should be no big deal.
right, 90% of the time the children are with their mother in the divorce anyways. So unless the father has some type of 50-50 order or some type of court order, the mother is always seeing the child more. So I'm not understanding that.
Well, we have a comment that says that's not true, Shanae.
I heard that. I don't know what that's supposed to be. What's
I
not
don't know
true?
what it is either. What's not true?
Right.
The statement
You
you
want to
made,
expound on that, King?
the statement you made earlier, stating that both people want to still be in a relationship. You can't you can't speak for the male in the relationship. You don't know what the male thoughts is. Yes, in certain relationships, as a man, let me use myself as an example. I felt as if I was going to lose my opportunities with my children. So I maintain a balance with their mom as a means, as leverage to still hold on to the ability to see my children. Not understanding and researching that I don't necessarily need the other person signature to actually get out of the marriage. I've formed up my papers and served my papers. They were not signed. Period.
They don't have to be.
Okay, if a man lacks the knowledge and he does not know, y'all a little bit aggressive today. If the man lacks the knowledge and he does not know, especially based on the state that he's in, and 9 times out of 10 in this state, it naturally goes to the woman, right? And he's like, okay, you know what? Let me stay in this because I still want to be a part of my children's life, so on and so forth. Do y'all still fault the man for that? Knowing that he don't want to be a part of that actual relationship and he do wants to break the contract, but he didn't have
I don't.
knowledge. He didn't have knowledge at that time.
Why? Because he didn't follow up on his papers being served? Is that why he didn't have the knowledge?
What are you talking about? Are you listening? The papers were served.
And they weren't signed, right? Did you follow up on that and find out, well, what happens if she doesn't sign the papers? Or did you just say, oh, she didn't sign them, so I guess that means I can't get a divorce?
If you heard everything I stated, you wouldn't have asked that question. I'm just
I
saying.
heard everything you said.
Okay, so therefore you wouldn't ask that question
Why not?
because I stated that with I made that statement before I finished stating what I stated. Lack of knowledge, ignorance to certain things, not knowing you don't require a signature to move forward.
And how long ago was that?
It doesn't matter how long ago was it. It's been a
It
minute ago.
does. No, it does matter because you're stating at
It's
that time you didn't have the knowledge, right?
okay.
So then when you got the knowledge, what did you do when you got that knowledge?
I've learned better to move in silence than to actually make noise while moving.
I have something to say about what you were just talking about. Um, it's if you decided to keep a certain level of relationship with the mom for the sake of your sons, that you're entitled to that. My only thing is don't bring nobody else into it that could possibly fall for you and want more, because that's going to be a hindrance. It's not a problem if you're by yourself, if you're a single man and that's your choice. It becomes a problem when you bring somebody else into a relationship, and then you have this inner standing, as you say it, your inner standing with uh your ex-wife, and your inner standing with yourself. That's fine, but it's an issue if you bring somebody else in, because now you're expecting them to understand what you understand, and that's not reality. So if that's the road that you travel, that's cool, but just know that you have to find someone that's going to be in agreement with the road that you're traveling. Don't expect all women to understand, and don't get upset or anything like that, because they don't understand. That's not the woman for you. You have to find someone that's going to be okay with how you're transitioning through this divorce. It's just that simple. We try to make people understand and stay in that vein of understanding when their perception is something totally different, and we make a mistake of thinking that we could just put that on somebody and they should just accept it because that's what you bring. No, find someone that's going to be in that same lane with you.
But you see the thing with me as a secure male, and I know that I don't aim for relationships. And if there is somebody that like me, I tell them what it actually is. And I know I cannot go into something new and not having to end the old obstacle to begin with, because I know that it's going to bring forth turmoil. I've seen not only friends go through this or whatever, I've seen females go through it too. They leave from one relationship and go to the next one, not knowing that there's a cleansing phase.
That's right.
Right. And that's just what it is. But it's like, at the same time, given the fact that I'm a man and I have itches sometimes. So listen to what I'm saying. So it's like, at the end of the day, if I tell you this and you are aware of this and you have an itch and you want me to scratch, I'm going to scratch it because that's what you're welcoming. But the objective for me is like, yo, fam, listen, I have 2 kids, I'm separated, haven't finalized the divorce. I'm gonna tell you that up front. So you gotta know what you want out of this circumstance. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of good, not too many, but a lot of good female friends around me that teaches me.
I mean, and what you did, all you did was just say what I just said. So
Yeah.
I said you have to find someone that's in agreement with what you're doing. You got it. You providing a scratch for their itch, and they're in agreement for that scratching of that itch.
But
Then
no,
go for it.
but no, it's just gonna be a scratch and an itch. It's gonna be an itch and
Yeah,
a
I mean
scratch.
that's what I'm saying. You have to find someone that's going to be on the same page. If it's a sister queen that she's looking to for the whole royalty of a relationship with the king, you're not for her. And so once she sees that all the cards are laid on the table, then that's what it is. It's like, yeah, cool, you. I think you said whatever, but I'm a keep moving. So
Shanae.
I mean,
Shanae.
Well, what happened?
What? You asking Shanae a question?
No, I was checking if she calmed down, and she sounded like she wanted to fight earlier. Just
No, I think
I, I
the
think
queen.
I think I sounded okay. I don't know where you going with that, but I think I sounded fine.
she sounded like she was
can
answering
I
your question.
can I mess with Shanae on my time, please? You guys, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah,
It's your world.
off camera though. Off camera though. Not
Right.
live.
Like, what
Rich,
is that
Not
all
live.
about?
Rich,
Right.
I'm out of it.
No. Look,
Not live,
King brought
bro.
up King brought up a good point. He brought up a perspective. But the queens, I think the right word for the queens on the platform is passionate and honest. And
Right.
they and but this is mental Rolodeck. We always passionate and honest. you know, and Mr. Rolladeck himself, he always says, "I'm coming at you. Y'all better be ready." So, you know,
I ain't
and
scared.
the people that's listening, look, we welcome we welcome all your comments too.
You see her
But
face?
I
look, look, this is what.
Rich, wait.
Yeah.
I know why I called Shanae. Shanae, you didn't answer my question. I had a question. What is love nowadays?
I don't know. Seriously.
Yes, Pache.
and
Okay.
I just
Well,
have to
look.
cross that road when I get to.
That's what I said. I don't know. Seriously. Like, what
I
type of
mean,
question is
I
that?
can't even like paint a picture no
No,
more.
I'm
You know
serious.
what
Like,
I'm
how
saying?
can
no.
like
The reason
Richie,
why because
where does that
Rich
question come from?
because
Rich, can you
Rich
help him?
because Rich this whole time was every time y'all would ask him a question and put the fire or the ball back in his court, he would say, "Oh, I love her," or "I love him," or this that,
Oh,
and the
okay.
third. So that's what the question been up for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, we were in dialogue, man. We wasn't really looking at that.
No.
I mean, the word love has been thrown around so loosely that, it almost doesn't have the meaning that it's supposed to have. And I think that hinders a lot of people's perception about what it's supposed to look like. Genuine love is the love that a mother has for a child. That is that vibration that you just can't break. And then when you turn older and your life is transitioning, one way or the other, then you meet someone, and it is a love, but it's a relationship type of love. And I think what people what people perceive as their quote unquote love language is different. Their vibration, what frequency they
Exactly.
vibrate on.
Mm-hmm.
So um, a lot of people, they provide a service, a need, or they do things for each other, or whatever, and to them that's their way of distinguishing what their love is. And like I said, people use the word so loosely. Like, I love everybody on this panel. I love everybody on this panel because of our vibration, right? And how we talk and how we interact, and just what the way we build, right? That's that type of love. And I say the word and I genuinely mean it. But then you have those other people that just kind of throw the word out there, but it's like out there, but it has nothing attached to it, you know. And I just really think it just we have to ask a person, what does love look like to you, in order for uh, to get an answer. But just to say what is love,
Yeah,
eh,
that's too broad.
yeah, that is wrong.
Because at the end of the day, love is a language. It's a language that you speak to each other, basically. And that's just what it is. It's a language. It's an unspoken language.
Okay. That being said, um, what I would like to say is winding this down. This has been great. I can go for 2 hours, 3 hours on this because a lot of people out there are watching. I can feel it in my spirit. A lot of people are watching, and you have helped a lot of people with your answers and being passionate about it. And and winding this down. Uh, those of you who are watching, the name of the show is Beyond the Surface. And I open up the panel. It's usually a Q&A, but I opened up the platform for this serious issue. This is a serious issue. And the topic today was incomplete relationships. And it started with a young couple of 126 and 124 who doesn't feel who had an incomplete relationship, whether they seen it or not. And then the older couple who still together technically on paper, separation was incomplete. We showed two examples of an incomplete relationship and trying to come together. And we showed an example of an incomplete relationship of not completing a separation. And in closing, I would like everybody to give a closing statement on incomplete separation. Uh, I mean, King, you can give your incomplete if you like,
Really?
but I want to hear the Queens too.
Really, I gotta go first. Okay. Um,
Well, you can
it's
pass
fine.
the baton.
It's fine. It's fine. Um, my form of incomplete relationship starts with self first, because if you're incomplete yourself, your prior relationship will always be incomplete. And we fail at times to see when things are over and when it's not working, because we're outside of self and the security is not with self. So due to the insecurity, we have inject so much into the other person, we forgot about the man or the woman in the mirror, right? And we have made somebody else's present greater than our own. So when that person is no longer there, it's like searching in the daytime with a flashlight for somebody that not only put 100% in you, they took you for granted and you took yourself for granted. We have to start giving that vibration and align ourselves more with the universe and straighten our security, because insecurity will take the accountability from you and make it somebody else's responsibility. And I close with that.
Okay. Are we flowing? Anybody else?
I close.
Are you there, Shanae?
I'm here.
Okay, that's my fault. I had my mic muted. I didn't know. Now, Jermaine just made his closing statement, which he said so completely about incomplete relationship. Now, what is your closing statement on incomplete separations?
Um, my closing statement on incomplete separations is it all boils down to what an individual wants and what it looks like for them and how it secures whatever position that they're at in their life. Apparently, a lot of people are not separated for their own personal reasons. And if that works for them, that's great. And as long as it's presented to the person in front of them that that's what's going on and that's what they're doing, and they should also expect that person to reciprocate exactly the energy that they're sending to them. So if you are in an incomplete relationship but you're pursuing someone else just and you want to put everything on the table, that's all great. But when they reciprocate it in the same way, there should be a common understanding and a common ground. I'm finished.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that finished?
Okay, sister Fishay.
So, as far as like the incomplete, of trying to transition into another relationship, um, the complexity of self is really strong. And I believe when people start dealing with their own complexity, they can find completion within themselves, uh, and making themselves a whole person. The exit out of a relationship doesn't define you. It doesn't take anything away from you. That means that season has finalized. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of times we grow better when we out of season. So Well, I'm going to go ahead. I got two short pieces, and I'm going to summarize mines up each from the beginning phase to the ending phase. So it's two pieces. So I'm going to give drop these two gems for you. This first piece is called "Has Anybody Seen Love?" And so it says, floating in a space, I trace the identity of love. Outlining the very element of its composition, I position myself to receive it. In the past, trials and errors, decisions, not listening to the voice within for reasoning. I rushed my season. Feeling defeated from incompletion, I ask, has anybody seen love? The finalization of that on the other end of the spectrum is called deep love. Understanding the depths of who you are requires an extensive soul searching journey of trials and errors. The betterment of self has a great reward of peace when you finally fall deeply in love with who you are. Know yourself, love yourself, and that's my final words.
Oh, that was beautiful. And that's and I'll close like this. First of all, I'd like to thank, of course, Jermaine for making all this possible with the platform and our family. And all of you people who's listening, I think this is one of our only shows that if you didn't learn something from this show, you wasn't listening. Um, all the answers and questions was passionate. And in closing, I would like to say it's true that this word love has been so abused that it's lost its meaning, just like the word friend. The topic of the show is incomplete relationships. And so we looked beyond the surface. We looked at the incomplete relationship and trying to complete one. We looked at an incomplete relationship in separating from one. And the word love comes up because we're talking about love in relationships. And since Beyond the Surface is based on my book, in my book, I say life is about relationships. And in love relationships, we must see that love is an action. Love is action. And we talked about it earlier when the Queen said a relationship should flow, it's flowing. Love is a flowing thing, it's never static. And so in that flowing, there is complete action. If there's no complete action, there's no love. Because there's nothing direct like love. Love has direct perception. Like the mother knows what's good for the child before the child knows. Love is direct. There's no beating around the bush with love. And love is something that is action. Of course, we can say we love, but the action has to show love. It's people that never said I love you, but their actions is I love you all day and night. It's some people that say I love you all day and night, but there's no actions that's showing that they love you all day and night. They can and when you really love somebody, if a woman really loves a man, she will go after and she will make it possible for that man to love her, and vice versa. But it's one of the most complicated things because the I and the me and the self is involved. I want this. That's not good for me. Well, I love myself. In love, it's about us. And and in love, the separation of love is complete because when you're an adult, you must understand that when you separate, you must be available for the right one since you've proven that you're the wrong one for each other. That is what you call maturity. That is what you call love, the action of love. There's no beating around the bush. There's no this. And look, of course, there's laws. Of course, there's protocol.
But when you love somebody, it's a line in Shakespeare when the king's wife was fleeing away and he had no horse to chase her. He said, "I give my kingdom for a horse to chase her." So love, it doesn't look at rules and regulations. It's action to stay together. It's action to separate. Because in love, there's common sense. There is the right action is always in love. And sometimes the right action is to separate. But you must separate right for the same reasons why you get together, for the right reasons. Now, we're all guilty of this. I'm a divorced man. I'm speaking for myself, but it's a lot of people out there that's going through this because it's one of the most complicated mazes in life. When you start getting involved with other people, and then you're having kids, then you're having property, and then you're having business opportunities, then you have contracts, then you have cars, and it's one of the most complicated things ever. So, in closing, I'll say, to know yourself, to know who you are, the only way you can see yourself and see who you are is in a relationship. You can't see who you are isolated because it's just you there. The way you interact in a relationship is who you are. And in that, we close until next week. We have some more lies for you. And we'll say until. My love to all of y'all. And I think Jermaine is probably over there chewing on some mushrooms or something. We closing the show and he's over there eating popcorn. Yeah. But yes, I want people to get that because we said a lot today. But I want people to realize you see the real you in relationships. And that might be an ugly mirror for you. But you must face it. You must face that mirror.
That's right.
The real you shows up in relationships. Now, when you by yourself, you can put your feet up. You don't have to comb your hair. You don't have to brush your teeth. When you isolated, there's no arguments with yourself. But when you get in a relationship, the real you comes out. Whether you trying to get together or trying to separate, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
That is you. And I speak for myself. I thought I was a together guy. I thought I had it all figured out. Mm-hmm. When I got married and I'm living day in and day out with somebody,
you start seeing things different.
I didn't know how insecure I really was.
Mm-hmm. and see, the thing about that is when you're in those relationships and you do start to see things, or your partner will see things that they point out, that is where the growth happens. It shouldn't turn into a tit for tat. That's where the growth and understanding should happen, and that's where a lot of relationships lack.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the fact that they're being exposed in a relationship.
That's where the lack of self comes into play, because if you know self and you're secure with self, therefore you would have a sense of accountability for self, and you would
you'll never be 100% secure in yourself. Never.
Can I finish, Queen? you may have some value points, but let me tell you, I've had my insecure moments, and the more mature I get, the more secure I get, to the point where certain things about the relationship don't even affect me no more, because I'm holding myself accountable. I'm looking at me first. Why am I arguing with this person when I can take my energy and sustain it and put it in a positive action versus knowing that nobody wins in an argument? It takes two to argue. So that's what I mean by when you're secure. Like, you're secure enough to know that something is going bad. You can see it before it goes bad. You can even...
You missed my point.
What's your point? You didn't let me finish mine.
Go ahead.
Well,
No, I'm conclude now. What make your point?
When I say you're missing the point, is what I was saying is I was piggybacking on Rich when Rich says you're exposed when you are in a relationship of your insecurities. So in saying that, at that moment, instead of couples blowing up on each other, because now they're being made, they're feeling fearful because a person is able to see their transparent them. At those points is where the growth and the understanding should happen.
But
At those points is where it should be switched to something like, okay, for example, if you're in a relationship and someone points out, you don't clean up well. I can tell you one of those type of people that don't clean up, right? And then the other person says, what do you mean? And the next person reciprocates and said, no, it's cool, I understand. If I was to go to one of your family members or someone in your family, they would probably tell me that you're not the most cleanest person, but that's okay because you're good in this area, you're good in that area, and we will maintain the house together.
but
That completely diffused the whole argument.
no, it doesn't, because those are shots. And if a person's
It's
insecure,
not really
Queen,
shots those.
Queen, let me explain. I gave you your moment. Please, this is not a battle. It is a shot. And the reason why I'm saying it's a shot, because I've been through that in a relationship, right? But if you're not secure, everything is a battle. You make everything what it really is. The person could tell you something to allow you to grow, but you don't want to grow. You want to point and make them the issue. But the issue is with you. That's where security comes into play. See, if I step back and I look at me, okay, you have a point. So, as a man that's secure within himself, knowing that I'm not well balanced or versed at certain things that I'm doing, I'm like, yo, Shanae, since you see that, how do I do 1, 2, and 3? Show me how to do 1, 2, and 3. A relationship is a teaching, and you got to be able to learn in there, and that's where security comes into play. But if I'm walking around, I'm insecure person, everything you say out your mouth gonna be an argument, and my fingers gonna be keep pointing at you like, yo, you're the problem versus me. That's where accountability comes into play, and that's what starts arguments.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's back. See, it's back to like the undercurrent current of this whole show. Incomplete means it's not complete. That means it's not direct. When you're dealing with love, it's direct. When you can't be when you don't have direct perception, when you can't see, when you're not sure, you're insecure. So if you can't complete the start and you can't complete the end, this is the action of insecurity. This because it's not the action of love, because the action of love is flowing with security. And like I said, I didn't know how insecure I was. I didn't know how jealous I was. I didn't know. And most people think they know themselves, and some people do know themselves. But you know for sure when you interact in a relationship. You know for sure about you based with the way you interact in a relationship. I've talked to men, grown, strong men, who cried in front of me. Now, it takes a lot for a man to cry in front of another man about a woman because he know he shouldn't have hit her. And he didn't think that that was part of his personality. But being in that relationship brought it out. And
Right.
this being in that relationship brought it out. And the door swing both ways. A
Mm-hmm.
woman could think she's a perfect woman and she's doing everything right. And being in relationship with a good man will expose her bad side.
Mm-hmm.
But love, people don't like love. People always say they want love, but some people tell me I don't want to be in love no more because love won't let you fake it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, love won't let
Requires
you
sac-
incomplete it. What you say, sister?
I was saying it requires sacrifice. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice.
And that's what I meant by two people having an understanding, coming together and willing to suffer together. It's not saying that suffering has to be unhappy. You just know that in society it's a struggle. So I balance you and you balance me. There are times when I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna be weak as a man, and you might be strong and you cheer me up. I'm not gonna be strong all the time because there's things outside that's tearing me down. So I have to be strong outside. But when I walk into that house, given the fact that we're in a relationship, I should be vulnerable in front of you, and you should not be able to use my vulnerability as a form of attack you know and people utilize the word love, and I believe it's lust. The reason why I say it's lust, because love never stops. Love is something we continue on a daily
Right, right,
basis.
right, right. And people need to look at that. That's why the show is called Beyond the Surface. Because if it's not direct or complete, it's not love.
And another thing, keep in mind, you cannot see the back of your head. Somebody else can point out your imperfections quicker than you can.
And some people don't want to face that mirror. See, love will put up. See, love and relationships put up a mirror of you, whether you know it or not. And then the more you get into that relationship, it shows who you are. In any relationship, it doesn't even have to be a male female in love. It could be the relationship with your job, with your career, with your school, with your children. The you shows up in relationships.
Because your relationship is a reflection of who you are, reflection of your imperfections as well. Because a lot of times we draw to what we're lacking in a relationship, or we lack it, within ourselves, drawn to it. And some people are drawn to the same. They're drawn to their likeness. So, but it's a reflection of yourself.
It's one of the toughest. It's a very tough thing. That's why when you say, you got to be careful with that word love, and the same way with the word friendship, because it's an action, and that it's an action that you must keep the self out of. You got to keep all your personal idiosyncrasies out of, and let love show you, not you, not
And
your image.
and and that's the thing, like we personalize these things and we make it personal, and we go into the relationship with conditions thinking that's what it's supposed to be, and so on and so forth. So we lose the unconditional things about what's really pure and what's really blissful, and that's basically what it is. And Shanae, I may have came off a little out of pocket or whatever. I felt for me. You may say everything is cool. So I'm gonna say apologies based on the action that I've displayed just now. It's nothing personal. I was being passionate. So that's what that was. And I just wanted to say that. Pache, for always being true and keeping it 1,000. Rich, you are that guy. Role playing though, I'm taking my Oscar back. um, you guys are amazing as always, and for those of you that would love to be a part of the show, feel free to send a friend request at King Jermaine or at Rich Lamar at Crochet Gibson or Shanae Anderson, and they can forward you with the information on how to join MEN-talRollaDek. But on Twitter, IG, like and share at MEN-talRollaDek. On YouTube, like and subscribe at MEN-talRollaDek. And with that being stated, love is love, elevation, straightforwardness, and growth. Gratitude, everyone.
Gratitude.